Iron Hulk, along with a few other bosses, namely Deerclop, Spider Queen, and Berger, are tied for having the largest negative sanity auras, all being minus 400 a minute. The other bosses are Seal NATO, the Reanimated Skeleton, and Enraged Claws. Speaking of Claws, Claws was the first boss introduced with 2 separate fight themes, one for each phase. The second boss introduced with 2 separate fight themes was Ancient Fuel Weaver. The Lord of the Fruit Flies may be a reference to Beelzebub, which when translated from Hebrew means the Lord of the Flies. When examining Malbatross as Warley, he states that it is très mal indeed, which roughly translates to very bad indeed. The Pugilist's name is actually in reference of 3 things, the 2 obvious ones being a pug and basilisk, and the last one being, well, a pugilist, which by definition means fighter. Shadow Pieces are considered regular hostile mobs in Phase 1 before transitioning into boss mobs in Phases 2 and 3. This is also why the Ancient Guardian theme begins to play during those later phases. Tiger Shark seems to share a bunch of similarities with Moose Goose. Both spawn in their game's rainiest seasons, both have no insanity aura unlike the other seasonal bosses, and both of them have their own children, with Tiger Shark getting shark kittens and Moose Goose getting mooselings. As mentioned before, Toadstool was the first boss to be given its own theme when fighting it. There are 5 special snowflakes which can be seen rarely in winter. They represent Chester, Deerclops, Rose, a Catcoon, and Glommer. Drying racks don't work in the rain, which should be obvious, but I'm willing to bet at least a few of you didn't know that. Spiky bushes are not affected by the regrow debuff that winter provides. This is also the case with light flowers. Woody cannot freeze in his werebeaver form. Equipping the Hibernation Vest reduces the rate that hunger is lost by 25%. At less than 45% sanity, whispers can be heard as ambience. When raising an army of bunnymen, it's more optimal to have your sanity lower than 40%, as doing so transforms them into Beardlords. Beardlords deal an extra 20 damage as well as having a lower attacking period being only 1 instead of 2. Wormholes have a counterpart found in adventure mode known as Sick Wormholes, which behave almost exactly the same as normal wormholes. But upon exiting, the other side will shrivel up and die. The Hammer tool is used in 3 different recipes throughout all of the Don't Starve games, creating the Thumper, a Wagstaff exclusive item, the Gold Pan, and the Tin Suit, both being Hamlet exclusives. Weber has canonically licked the Salt Lick before. Blech. Don't Starve Shipwrecked Edition originally planned for there to be boat versions of Clockwork Pieces, but they were fortunately scrapped. Imagine peacefully sailing the seas and then a clockboat rook starts charging straight at you. The Brightmare Alter Ego is an unused mob which mimics the player. Something to note is that all Gestalts in Don't Starve Together have the Brightmare tag on them, so this most likely has something to do with the lunar locations. A song within Don't Starve known as Dr. Style is seen in multiple game trailers, and yet is never used in the game itself. Here, have a listen. I'm just gonna quote the wiki on this one. I'm sorry, but it's 2 AM as I'm writing this. Okay. Despite their name, California rolls are not actually California rolls. The California roll was invented to popularize sushi in North America. To become appetizing for people who did not like seeing seaweed, it's prepared, quote, inside out, where the seaweed is inside and the rice is outside of the roll. However, the in-game image for the California roll item has the seaweed outside, indicating that it's actually not a California roll. Wow, that is so useless. Wendy's dislike of the flower salad item is due to her hatred of all flowers except her sisters, quoting that, "Ugh, more flowers." Despite being covered entirely in ice, melon sickles still spoil in ice boxes. Seems pretty unfair to me, Clay. Monster Tartar is exclusively a positive in Shipwrecked, however has a slightly different recipe than in Don't Starve Together. In Don't Starve Together, Monster Tartar serves as a more filling alternative to Monster Lasagna, which normally isn't worth it, but it's honestly a pretty viable option for food if you play as Wormwood. In the Reign of Giants version of Don't Starve, Wes's balloons can be given to a Catcoon to befriend them, which isn't very helpful considering you can do the same thing with twigs. Walani seems to have nyctophobia, This can be seen in, well, pretty much every one of her darkness quotes, where she panics like crazy, unlike all the other characters. I'm going to quote this directly from the wiki again. Warley seems to be superstitious, as suggested from opening the umbrella item. Quote, I will try to remember not to open you indoors. This is also evidenced by him saying, quote, I hope it does not rain after I kill you, when attacking a spider. In older versions of Don't Starve, it was possible to repair walls with healing items like spider glands and honey poultices. The Dreadstone and Thulecite walls are tied for having the most HP a wall has in the game, with both of them going up to 800 HP in total. For some reference, placing down 5 of these walls is the equivalent of Deerclops itself. And with that, that is the last useless fact. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tried to include a little bit less visuals in this one, mainly, you know, to save time, which, you know, I'm editing this on Friday. This is coming out on Saturday. Like, I was just procrastinating. My bad, guys. Anyways, yeah, there's a Discord server. I haven't plugged this thing in ages, so I'm gonna do that now. Join the Discord server. It's awesome. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't Starve Useless Facts Part 4 will probably come out at some point. I don't know when, but it will. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.